Bubala, you have asked me that am I free and what is freedom? Bubala, I say to you that until you are liberated, you are not free. You have to be free from yourself, Bubala. It is really complex. If you try to understand by listening to someone or reading a book, and it is really easy if you understand by yourself. Regarding this, no explanation helps you. No description or no discourse takes you to the other shore or give you the lucid and crystal clear clarity. Life related core understandings have to be discovered and understand on your own, and there is no other way around. By reading thousands and thousands of books about the essence of hunger, by listening to someone or reading a menu card, you cannot understand the essence of hunger, do you? In the same way, this word freedom also is not understandable by outsourced information, and no one can make you free, Bubala. No one can make you. Now I am explaining my own understanding, and I say to you with all sincerity that it will not help you, and I know that. It is not useful to you. I understand that. Though I say to you, just listen. Don't try to understand or analyze what I am saying. Just listen. అరుగునో అరగదోనని ఆరాటపడక ఊరికే తినవలే, అర్థం చేసుకోవాలని ఉబలాట పడక ఊరికే వినవలే, పరమార్థములకై వెదక్క ఊరికే జీవించవలె రీసా, ఊరికే అను పదము ఊరికే అర్థం కాదు లీల రసో వయస. Bubala, you have asked me that am I free, but you did not ask that whether you want to be free physically and psychologically. It is not just an ordinary word which appears to be. The essence of the word entwined in social, psychological, economical, spiritual, group and individual conscience and consciousness. To understand freedom, you have to look deep into this word and the three aspects of it. The first aspect of freedom is emancipation, means vimochanam. The second aspect of freedom is freedom, means svecha. And the third aspect of freedom is liberation, mukti or moksham. So let me repeat. The first aspect of the freedom is emancipation, the second aspect is freedom, and the third aspect is liberation. Before I begin to say anything, I put my position forth with great authenticity that there is liberation, and I know it as an experience. I am choosing my words carefully here. I don't want to say that either I am liberated or I have been liberated. No. I am saying that there is liberation. Liberation and I cannot be used together in language. To know liberation, you should know to know to know. Bubala, it is not possible for me to discuss three aspects of freedom: the emancipation, the freedom, and the liberation in one go. So I'll try to give you an overview before I go into each aspect in detail. That may happen in the future, but not now. So the first aspect of freedom is emancipation. What is emancipation? It simply means your mind and body got stuck, and you recognize it. Your actions are under surveillance. You will be beaten. In other words, it is called slavery. The one tries to be free physically and psychologically is actually trying to be emancipated. It simply means it is not in your hands. There is an excessive intolerance towards you. It is a game between the master and the slave. It's a game between the poor and the rich. There is an authority over your body-mind complex. Understand what I am saying. The one who wants to be emancipated has to fight all existed aspects, fight against discrimination, fight against racism, bigotry, where you are constantly being judged. Bubala, it is one of the highest form of injustice. You might have heard stories of those who from generations work in one family, like servants, like slaves, generation after generations. Father works in the same building under the master, and the master dies, father dies, and master's son become the master, and the slave's son become a slave. And there is no end to it. There is a beautiful movie called 12 Years a Slave. You should watch that movie. It is one of the most beautiful movies I have ever watched. Where the lead character wants to be emancipated. He has everything there. He lives in a beautiful building which has acres and acres of beautiful garden. In the same building, master also lives. But this slave's mind got infected with this idea that there is somebody ruling his body-mind complex. That very desire to be free is to be emancipated. It has many aspects, Bubala. A slave may be free from his master one day, and he thinks he got emancipated, but still there are wounds within. They haunt him for lifetime. One day I'll definitely talk about it. The second aspect of freedom is freedom. Being free, to be free. From what? In the first aspect, there is a master over your body-mind complex here, where your body is free, but mind got stuck. In freedom movement, we are all free physically, and there is no authority over your body. But yes, deep down you feel that someone have authority over your mind. You are being ruled psychologically. Your thoughts being controlled. It's a psychological slavery. All ideologies born here. That's why it is called freedom movement and also struggle for freedom. And many of us experience in day-to-day life where body is free but mind gets stuck somewhere in someone's hand. Where your body is walking freely but mind thinks that it has no freedom. Many of the husbands are masters who use the body of their wives and control the minds of their wives. The very idea of empowerment originates here. Here comes the essence of fundamental rights. One fights for his rights, right to freedom, right to religion, freedom of speech. And it has a long history. In recent times, in Delhi, in JNU, people shouted anti-India slogans in the form of dissent. Now once again you try to understand the whole situation, scenario. The people who are doing sloganeering, their bodies are free. No one is beating them, but their minds are not free. In individual level and social level and also national level, where people think they want to be free psychologically. If you look at the history of the world, all freedom struggles, all anti-apartheid movements being originated with this idea that the one wants to be free psychologically forever. So in the way emancipation exists in individual and psychological realm, the aspect of freedom also takes place in individual and group and region and national level. One of the best example is recent Telangana movement. Our bodies were free, but there is an idea that someone have power over our minds. One thought got stuck for 61 years. In 2012, it got released. It is, I call, to be free psychologically. But it doesn't mean that the story ends there. I'll talk about it one day in detail. And the last aspect of freedom is liberation. It is the most beautiful and contemporary and mysterious aspects of life. We call Buddha liberated one, not the one who got emancipated or got freedom, no. Liberation is totally a different kind of radical experience. It has nothing to do with the society, people, time, culture, and this and that. It has no connection with the politics. It has no connection with religion. And it has no connection with any movement. It takes place only and only and only in individual realm. Liberation simply means free from your own thoughts, own ideals, own ideas, own understandings, or whatsoever. If you look into the dictionary, the meaning of the liberation is the action of setting someone free from imprisonment, slavery, or oppression. Release. So the dictionary meaning is covering all the aspects of freedom, emancipation. Imprisonment means implies the emancipation. Slavery implies the emancipation, but oppression, it only implies freedom. It is a generalized statement. The meaning of the emancipation from the dictionary is directed towards others. But I say to you, the real meaning of liberation is when you are free from your own body-mind complex. There is liberation. There is a beautiful story of Diogenes. You might have heard about him. Which seems to have originated with Menepus of Gadara. So Diogenes was captured by pirates while on voyage to Aegina and sold as a slave in Crete to a Corinthian named Zenades. Eventually, Zenades liked and admired the quality and virtue of Diogenes and made him his master of his children, where his children and him taught the virtues of life by Diogenes. Diogenes is a slave, but I say to you, he knows the taste of liberation. He led their masters to threshold and screamed that anybody wants to become his master, take me. He never believed someone is there to govern him, his body, his mind. That is liberation. And that he wished to be sold to a man who needed a master. He used to carry a lamp in the daylight. If someone inquires what is the lamp, what is the lamp for? He used to say that he is looking for an honest man. It is a pun. It is a joke. He is teasing you. Every enlightened man teases the humanity in a very beautiful way. When liberation occurs, your actions and words and its value changes completely, and it contains the transformation value. He may be a slave physically and psychologically, like Diogenes, which appears to be. Even master thinks that he is the master, and you are the slave. But in your mind, these words, master and slave, and trying to be emancipated, they all lose its relevance. Where no opinion on yourself exists, where the existence of the other simply disappears, there is liberation. Bubala, you asked me that am I free and what is freedom? I say to you that you are free from me. I am not giving you any advice or method or dictate. Neither I own you in any way, or there is no intention to change your life. I have discovered my true existence. It is up to you to discover your own existence and its aura and its beauty. To get emancipated, one needs to struggle. To be free, one needs ideologies. To be liberated, one needs to understand the ego. Bubala. Ego, go, then we go. Drop the ego, then go on your path, wherever it leads you. Then I go on my path, wherever it may take. We go on our paths. Surely we meet at the same destination. Raso Vaisa Risa.